Hello there and welcome back. Tonight we're going to talk about something shiny, something valuable, something that has driven humanity to do truly insane things for centuries. No, not a limited edition Stanley Quencher, but something even more ridiculously prized gold. Specifically, we're going to take a look at which countries hold the most gold reserves. It's a fascinating list, a veritable who's who of nations that have decided to hoard a shiny yellow metal like a particularly well-organized dragon. And to build the suspense, because let's face it, that's what we do here, we'll be counting them down from number 10 all the way to the top spot. Now, you might be thinking, Brock, why should I care about giant piles of metal sitting in dusty vaults? Isn't that a bit old-fashioned? Shouldn't we be talking about crypto or NFTs of bored-looking apes? And yes, that's a fair point. But gold reserves are far from being some archaic relic. They are a massive, glittering statement of a country's economic stability and power. Think of it as a nation's emergency fund, a get-out-of-jail-free card for when their currency takes a nosedive or global markets go completely haywire. It's the ultimate financial security blanket, woven from pure, unadulterated bullion. Having a hefty gold reserve signals to the rest of the world that you're a serious player. It's a way of saying, yes, our economy might occasionally resemble a dumpster fire, but look, we have a basement full of shiny bricks, so we're good for it. It backs a nation's currency, provides liquidity when needed, and acts as a safe haven asset when all other investments are panicking. So, as we dive into this list, remember we're not just looking at stacks of metal, we're looking at the bedrock of global economic power. Let's begin. Kicking off our list at number 10, we have a country you might associate more with tulips, windmills, and shockingly tall people. The Netherlands. That's right, the Dutch are sitting on a very respectable 612.5 metric tons of gold. Now, that might not sound like a lot compared to the heavyweights we'll get to later, but it's still a massive hoard. To put that in perspective, that's the equivalent weight of about 100 fully grown African elephants, which is a frankly terrifying image. Imagine trying to guard that. Sorry sir, you can't enter the vault. A herd of elephants is currently being audited. For the Netherlands, a key player in the Eurozone, this gold is more than just a shiny asset. It's a fundamental part of their central bank's strategy to maintain confidence and stability. They've even been quite public about it, with the Dutch central bank stating that gold is the ultimate reserve asset and a pillar of trust. It's their way of reassuring everyone that even if the euro wobbles, they have a solid gold foundation to fall back on. They've even moved a significant portion of their gold from New York back to Amsterdam, a move that's basically the international banking equivalent of saying, yeah, I'll just hold on to my own wallet, thanks. Coming in at number 9, we have India, a country whose relationship with gold goes far beyond simple economics. With over 800 metric tons in its official reserves, the Indian government has a significant pile of bullion. But that figure, impressive as it is just the tip of a colossal golden iceberg. The real story of gold in India lies not in government vaults, but in the homes, temples, and hearts of its people. It is estimated that Indian households hold over 25,000 metric tons of gold, making them the largest private gold holders in the world. That's not a reserve, that's a national love affair. Gold is woven into the very fabric of Indian culture. It's a symbol of wealth, purity, and good fortune, present at every major life event from birth to marriage. Indian weddings are famously glittering affairs, with brides often adorned in so much gold they could probably interfere with satellite signals. This cultural significance means there's a constant, insatiable demand. For the Reserve Bank of India, their official holdings are a strategic asset, but they're also managing an economy where gold is a parallel currency, a family heirloom, and a sacred offering all at once. It's a uniquely complex and glittering challenge. At number 8, we find Japan, a nation that operates with a kind of quiet, formidable efficiency, and its gold reserve is no different. Japan holds around 846 metric tons of the yellow metal. For the world's third largest economy, this might seem somewhat modest, but it reflects Japan's unique economic position. As a technological and manufacturing powerhouse, The Japanese yen is already one of the world's most trusted safe haven currencies. When global markets get choppy, investors often flock to the yen, giving it a stability that other currencies can only dream of. Therefore, Japan's gold isn't so much a primary defense as it is a secondary, deeply reliable insurance policy. It's the financial equivalent of having a perfectly maintained, fully fueled backup generator when you already live next door to the power station. The Bank of Japan maintains its gold reserves as a traditional part of its portfolio, a nod to the enduring value of bullion in a world of complex financial instruments. It's a testament to their prudent, long-term approach to economic management. Hope for the best, but always have 846 tons of shiny metal just in case. Now we move to number 7, and it's a country whose name is practically synonymous with money, secrecy, and of course, gold: Switzerland. The Swiss National Bank holds 1,040 metric tons of gold, making them the first country on our list to cross that 1,000-ton threshold. This is hardly surprising. For centuries, Switzerland has cultivated a reputation as the world's banker, a neutral, stable sanctuary for wealth from all corners of the globe. Their commitment to financial secrecy and stability is legendary, and a massive gold reserve is a physical manifestation of that promise. What's particularly interesting about Switzerland is that they hold the most gold per capita in the world. While other nations have larger total reserves, no other country has that much gold relative to its population size. It's a core part of their national identity. In fact, until 1999, the Swiss franc was legally required to be 40% backed by gold reserves. While that law has changed, the mentality hasn't. The Swiss see gold not just as an asset, but as the ultimate guarantee of their independence and prosperity, a glittering mountain at the heart of their alpine fortress. At number 6, we have a global superpower that has been on a gold-buying spree: China. The People's Bank of China officially reports holding around 2,262 metric tons of gold, and the key word there is officially. Many analysts believe the true number could be significantly, perhaps even staggeringly, higher. For years, China has been quietly and consistently accumulating gold, making it one of the largest buyers on the international market. This isn't just a casual investment, it's a calculated strategic move on the global chessboard. China's goal is clear: to challenge the dominance of the US dollar in international trade and finance. By building up its gold reserves, Beijing is adding credibility and stability to its own currency, the renminbi. It's a way of de-dollarizing its economy and insulating itself from American financial policy. Every gold bar added to the vaults in Beijing is a small step towards a multipolar financial world. China isn't just hoarding gold, it's hoarding influence, and the world is watching very, very closely. Storming into the number 5 spot is Russia, another nation that has been aggressively padding its vaults. Russia now holds over 2,332 metric tons of gold, having more than quadrupled its reserves since the mid-2000s. This rapid accumulation is a direct response to geopolitical tensions and Western sanctions. Much like China, Russia is on a mission to insulate its economy from the influence of the US dollar and the wider Western financial system. They call it building a fortress economy, and gold is the strongest stone in that fortress's walls. Under President Putin, the strategy has been to sell off US Treasury bonds and use the proceeds to buy physical gold. It's a bold and defiant move, effectively trading paper assets from a geopolitical rival for a timeless, tangible store of value. When sanctions hit, having a massive gold reserve provides a crucial financial buffer, allowing the Kremlin to weather economic storms that might otherwise be crippling. For Russia, gold isn't just about economics. It's a weapon in a financial Cold War, a symbol of sovereignty and defiance in the face of international pressure. Our number 4 country is France, a nation with a long and storied history with gold. The Banque de France safeguards an impressive 2,437 metric tons of bullion. Unlike some of the other countries on this list who have been recent buyers, much of France's gold is a legacy of its past economic might and colonial history. It's old money, or rather, old gold. The French have been notoriously reluctant to part with their reserves, viewing them as an inalienable part of the national heritage. This attitude was famously personified by Charles de Gaulle in the 1960s. He deeply distrusted the US dollar's dominance and began aggressively converting France's dollar reserves into gold, even sending the French Navy to New York to physically pick it up. This move, known as de Gaulle's gold standard, helped precipitate the collapse of the Bretton Woods system. Today, that sentiment endures. The gold sitting in a custom-built vault underneath the bank in Paris is seen as a strategic asset of last resort, and a powerful symbol of French sovereignty, and its enduring place in the global financial order. Sliding into the number 3 position, perhaps surprisingly for some, is Italy. Yes, Italy. Despite its well-publicized economic challenges and political rollercoaster rides, the Banca d'Italia holds a massive 2,452 metric tons of gold. This places it just ahead of France and firmly in the top tier of gold-holding nations. Like France, Italy's reserves are largely a historical inheritance, accumulated during the Italian economic miracle of the post-war decades. It's a glittering reminder of a more prosperous era. What makes Italy's case fascinating is that the ownership of the gold is explicitly assigned to the central bank, not the state itself, a legal distinction that helps shield it from political interference. During the Eurozone debt crisis, there were calls for Italy to sell some of its gold to pay down its debts, but these were fiercely resisted. The governor of the Bank of Italy declared the reserves were part of the patrimony of the country and essential for its independence. For Italy, that gold is a critical backstop, a source of stability and credibility in a sometimes unstable economic environment. Our runner-up at number 2 is the economic engine of Europe, Germany. The German Bundesbank holds a colossal 3,352 metric tons of gold. This immense reserve is a cornerstone of Germany's post-war identity, which is built on principles of fiscal discipline, stability, and a deep-seated fear of inflation. Having lived through the hyperinflation of the Weimar Republic in the 1920s, which wiped out savings and destabilized the entire country, Germany has an almost cellular aversion to currency debasement. Gold is the ultimate antidote to that fear. For decades, most of Germany's gold was stored abroad, primarily in New York, London, and Paris, as a relic of Cold War strategy. However, in a massive and logistically complex operation that concluded in 2017, Germany repatriated a huge portion of its gold back to Frankfurt. This was a hugely popular move domestically, seen as reclaiming a key part of their national wealth. It signaled to the world, and more importantly to its own people, that the German economy rests on a foundation not just of industrial might, but of solid, tangible, and now physically present gold. And finally, we arrive at number 1. The undisputed heavyweight champion of the world when it comes to gold reserves, a country that holds more gold than the next 3 countries on our list combined. Of course, I'm talking about the United States of America. The U.S. Treasury officially holds a staggering 8,133.5 metric tons of gold. It is an almost unbelievably large amount, a hoard so vast it has underpinned the entire global financial system for the better part of a century. Most of this legendary treasure is stored at the famous Fort Knox Depository, a name that has become synonymous with ultimate security. The sheer size of the U.S. gold reserve is a legacy of the Bretton Woods Agreement after World War II, which established the U.S. dollar as the world's primary reserve currency, convertible to gold at a fixed rate. While President Nixon ended that convertibility in 1971, the gold never left. Its presence still provides immense psychological and strategic power. It gives the U.S. dollar an unmatched level of credibility and solidifies America's position at the center of the global economy. No other country comes close, and this golden mountain is a key reason why, for now, the dollar remains king. So, there you have it. A tour of the world's most impressive national treasures. As we've seen, these are not just piles of inert metal sitting in basements. A country's gold reserve is a powerful symbol of its history, its economic philosophy, and its ambitions for the future. For some, it's a legacy of a golden age. For others, it's a strategic tool being actively used to reshape the global order. It's a fascinating blend of history, politics, and raw economic power, all represented by a shiny, deceptively heavy brick. The sheer scale of these holdings, from the Netherlands' respectable stash to the mountain of bullion in Fort Knox, highlights the enduring importance of gold as the ultimate safe haven. In an age of digital currencies and complex derivatives, nations still turn to the oldest form of money for security and trust. It's a testament to gold's timeless appeal and its role as the bedrock of financial stability. It makes you wonder what financial panics these vaults have prevented just by existing. Now I want to hear from you. Which country on this list surprised you the most? Was it Italy's massive reserve or perhaps Switzerland's per capita dominance? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating rankings.